Now, Paul has given Timothy a very difficult assignment. If you don't think that it was difficult, look at verse 20. Among whom these are Hymenaeus and Alexander, to whom I've handed over to Satan, so they be taught not to blaspheme. If you're going to be in the ministry, you've got a target on your back, and people are going to try and hit it. And they're going to say things about you. They're going to say things to you, and so it's just part of it. But the truth is, all of us are in a fight. We used to sing a song. We haven't sung it here, but it's Onward Christian Soldiers, because the church, we are all soldiers. And Paul in chapter 4 of 1 Timothy, he says, be a good soldier, with me. And so we're all soldiers. And here he's telling him to fight the good fight. And he says, according to the prophecies previously given to you. So let's go back to that time. And so we find two different references to that. One of those is in 1 Timothy chapter 4. In verse 14, he says, do not neglect the spiritual gift within you, which was bestowed on you through prophetic utterance with the laying on of hands by the presbytery. So the presbytery is the plural of presbyteros, which is the Greek word for elder. Now, there are three words that were used for pastor, elder, bishop. They're all the same office, overseer. Presbyteros is the word for elder, episkopos is the word for overseer, and of course poimen is the word for shepherd or pastor. But they're all the same office, and a group of these, the group of pastors. There was always a plurality of pastors in a church, of elders, and so this plurality of elders was called a presbytery. And so the presbytery had laid hands on Timothy, and they had prophesied over him, it says, through prophetic utterance. Well, normally when they're going to lay hands, the presbytery is going to lay hands on somebody. It could be that they're sick and they're praying for the sick. It could be for prophetic ministry. But I believe that this was more than that. I believe that in the ordination of Timothy, and Timothy became an apostle, and he's doing apostolic work here in Ephesus, and I believe that the presbytery laid hands on him, and they prophesied over him, and they laid hands on him as they set him in the office of an apostle there. And so we also find in 2 Timothy, Paul reminds him to stir up by reminder the gift that was bestowed upon him by the laying on of my hands. So there was this gift, and I believe this was a ministry gift. And so there was prophetic ministry given to him by him. And so this, apparently, in this prophecy, in these prophecies that were given to him, there were things that pertained to him, to his ministry, and things he was to pay attention to. And Paul is reminding him of these prophecies so that he could fight the good fight. Now, I think that later on Paul says, do the work of an evangelist, and so fulfill your ministry. So whatever his ministry was, he needed to do the work of an evangelist. And so if you're going to do apostolic work, you've got to be involved in evangelism and teaching in a lot of different areas. And so I believe that they laid hands on him, not that he would become the evangelist, but for him to do the apostolic ministry, because that's exactly what he was doing.